Good evening, good morning, good day. I don't know what time it is because we haven't had nursing all weekend. But I have a live guest here today, an actual live, yes, she's moving. Her name is, I'm sorry, what's your name again? I should have done my research. You are?
You know, I wish I knew.
Don't know. You know what's odd though? When yesterday we spoke about you being on, I was supposed to do research because that's what you should do if you're going to have a guest on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should know about your guest. And I was like, I don't know that much about her, but I do know this. I do know that I actually have a tattoo of you on my arm. So there's a story right there, I guess.
And then we have the same last name, and
your name is, I thought you were Singer. You're Singer?
Yes, I'm Singer.
You're Dakota Skye Singer. I thought you were Dakota Skye Singer.
Oh. Well, I don't know how I got here. I just kind of ended up here, and
when did we first meet? Do you recall?
I don't know. I think just now.
Just now.
Yeah.
Just now. Yes, just now. All right. Actually, this is my daughter, Dakota Skye Singer, my favorite human being, and I'm very proud to say that. This podcast is going a lot because of her. Because everything was going wrong. If you look back, I think this is the 5th one we're doing now. If you look back to the first one, it was a quick one after a day of absolutely everything going wrong. This one here came downstairs, and I've spoken about how we needed. She knew that I needed laughter, and I needed some getting back on track. And she came down here, and with the help of her, and with the help of her laughter and sarcasm, something that we have a lot of in this house, I was able to get this going. And that's why this is going again. This is my producer, my editor, my what else? What other titles do you need? We need to do credits at the end and give you your titles.
Well, I sync up the audio. I do the long rendering on my computer. That's takes a while, but I don't know. I just put the video and the audio together.
You're the smart one. I just sit here and babble, and then you're the one that actually does all the work, the technical and the stuff that actually takes smarts. Because luckily she got her smarts from her mother because there's not much up here. So it's luckily that she has the smarts.
I mean, I don't know you, so I mean, it could. I don't know what I got from you. I don't know who you are.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can see the way this interview is now going. Well, again, that's the fun about the interview is I miss the stranger dangers that I used to do on IG Live. When basically I would have somebody come on that I knew absolutely nothing about.
I'm imitating a stranger danger.
You are imitating a stranger danger. You are Dakota Skye Singer.
Yes.
Yes. This is, and that's the fun. So listen, since I know nothing about this young woman sitting next to me, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing. I do know, I will say that I do know that you are involved in a lot of great things, that you are doing a lot of great things. Yay. You are creating music, video games, you name it, she's into it. So I am now going to allow her to speak, and I will sit here and I will shut up.
Okay. I like to do a lot of things. I like to keep my mind busy, and
is that busy in Disney? Is that
yeah.
Is that when you're busy in Disney?
I work at Disney.
Disney, okay.
So yeah, I like to do a lot of things, and I just kind of, I'm on the internet, so I see people doing things, and it's like, maybe I should try that out, and then I try it out, and then I take a liking to it, and then I end up doing it. So currently I'm working on video game development and making music. I love writing. I like doing art. It's not really my forte, but I like doing it occasionally. I have other hobbies. I like making bracelets. What else do I do? Yeah, I do stuff. And then
I think you're a lot like me, where something captures. Again, I don't know why it would be like me since you don't know me, but again, I think we have something in common, even not knowing each other. Mm-hmm. But I think you see something that inspires you or intrigues you, and you get involved, and you get involved in it.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
really you jump in, wholeheartedly with it.
You want to understand how it's made, and you want to understand what it takes to make that, and then you understand it, and then it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's fun learning. And then what you're doing too is, again, you're learning and then you're teaching.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to hopefully start putting some stuff out there. You have access to all of this. This is all yours. We can take this down, or we can put something else up there, and you can have your own show at any time you'd like. And that's the great thing about learning everything. And again, I've learned so much from you. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. She does help me learn a lot of new stuff, keep up with the times and what's going on. And there's a huge age difference. I'm an old fart, and she's a young little gal. But I think we enjoy a lot of the same things. Music, Red Hot. She's wearing a Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt, one of my all-time favorite bands, of course. We're into a lot of she's gotten us into a lot of things. Manga or
Were you gonna say Magna?
Magna, manga,
Lava.
lava.
I buy lava.
I buy manga, manga. Manga. I still can't pronounce that correctly. We're really into that because of her. It's an amazing art form. We enjoy watching a lot of great shows together. And that's something that you're also into too, into the art of that.
Yes, exactly. I take a lot of inspiration from everything that I watch and play and read. I feel like when you start creating things, you take a different look at things. Like, I used to just listen to music, but now I start really listening and separating the bass or the melody and the harmonies and trying to figure out how it all blends together, and listening to different genres and just looking at things a lot differently than when I used to, at a more creative standpoint. And like, how can I take this and then take inspiration from it to kind of hone my own skills and make it, more towards what I like and what inspires me.
The thing that I find amazing about you, watching you in this house, is how you start something, and then you get into it, and how you dissect, like you were just talking about, how you basically dissect something, you learn the parts that you like to learn, and then you're creating, and I know this because I hear your music and I see what you're doing with the instruments here that we have in this house, with your keyboard, with everything. You're creating your own style, and it's very interesting to hear how you've taken a certain sound and you've created. And I guess we can kind of say this. It's got, would you say, a creepy vibe?
Yes, so I'm very early into my music creating. So I have kind of delved into one small genre of what I call calm but slightly unsettling.
But slightly unsettling. Okay.
So, for example, you want me to make you a song for the opening of this podcast.
Correct.
And every time, I've tried, it just kind of goes from, oh, nice and good for a podcast, and then it goes right to creepy and slightly unsettling with a little bit of calm in there, and it's just kind of like, I have to work on it. It's going to take some time, but
again, absolutely, whatever you set your mind to, you do. And again, you have been, I've talked about this on here. I think I talked about it in the last episode. I talked about finding a superhero that inspires you and then becoming your own superhero. Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it to you right here again. You inspire me. You absolutely are one of my biggest inspirations. And it's for many reasons. I could sit here and we can go into the whole dynamics of the chaos of this household and the everyday, the ups and the downs and the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to happen next in this house. And I think we've always tried to deal with it with laughter, which I always speak about and I've spoken about on here. And you, fortunately, and without a doubt, one of the greatest things that I believe that you picked up from myself and your mother is your humor, your sarcasm, your quick-wittedness, and your ability to tune me out when I become too much of an idiot. There are times I'll be just doing absolutely stupid stuff in the house, and I can look over, and she will just be tuned out completely, doing whatever she's doing. She knows how to tune me out when I become too much of a jerk. Because, well, as a parent, you have to be an embarrassment and a jerk sometimes. So it's part of our job.
Yeah, and then it's a part of the kid's job to learn how to
tune us out. Exactly. That's yeah. It's an amazing chemistry flow that we have in this house. Like I said, it's a house unlike any other. And again, I'm beyond proud of you for who you are becoming, how you've grown up. This young woman right here has had to grow up very fast in this household. Again, a lot of you know, or who don't know, with my son Jaden, with her brother, special needs, 24 hours a day, pretty much just taking care of him. And it's tough. It's extremely tough. And you have been a superhero, the way that you deal with things. You're extremely understanding, extremely helpful, extremely, like I said, and the key thing is you know when this house needs an energy change. You know when the energy is down. And I think we all kind of do that for each other. I think we all kind of keep an eye out, and we know that maybe our energy is down. Maybe we're not having a good day. Maybe we're not feeling too good. But we all take turns being the superhero, I think. I think that there are days that, I don't want to say that one of us becomes the villain, but there are days that we just have the bad days.
Well, there's days that we're off, and that's, a normal thing that every person goes through, where sometimes things don't have to be going on, or sometimes a lot's going on, but either way, it's still, you're just off, and sometimes you just need that someone to come in and just remind you that, like, this isn't a permanent thing. You're going to get back on your feet and you're going to keep going the next day. And I feel like we all kind of take turns with that, whether we do it purposely or we kind of do it accidentally, where it's kind of like, someone says something and they're really funny and happy, and then, like, it just kind of brings up the other person's mood. 'Cause it's kind of like, you know what? Why not? Why not? Instead of, just being in your little hole and being sad. It's like, let's just try and start digging out and,
I'm actually a little choked up right now, because just sitting here, that's a proud moment as a parent. That's to know that somehow, with the mess that this was most of my life, that somehow this was created from a lot of my mess. And a line that I say to her all the time is, and I've said this since she's been very young, I would say, don't be an Andy. Because I was a mess. At her age, I was not this smart, not this thoughtful, not this, I don't want to say not this caring. I was caring, but I was a mess. I was a troubled youth. I'm lucky to be here. I'm grateful to be here. And I'm even more grateful to see that she has learned. We've been very open and honest in this house. I've talked about everything that I've ever been through in my life. And I think that that's something that you have to do. You have to be open and honest with your children. You have to just talk about life. Joe Coy special that I just watched recently, he has a line in there, and he talks about with his teenage son, who's about my daughter's age. And he says, treat him like a dude. And he says, I'm not sure if that works with daughters, but I'm here to say, hey, Joe Coy, it does. I don't treat her like my daughter, per se. I mean, yes, there are certain things that, yes, you have to, be the parent. But for the most part, I think we keep it on a dude level. Mm-hmm. I think we laugh, we watch, we talk, we curse in this house. It's, like I said, we're not your average normal family. And it's fun. We are who we are. I'm extremely proud of who you are growing up to be. Thank you for not being an Andy. And again, I'm going to say this now. I hope to do hundreds, if not thousands, of more podcasts. And I hope to have everyone from every level and every walk of life sitting here at some point and talking to them. And I'm going to say this now. This right here, without a doubt, will be my favorite podcast ever. Because yesterday, when you said to me that you wanted to be on, I said tomorrow. I said, that's it. It was getting late in the day. We had a lot going on. We haven't slept all weekend. No nursing. I have tomorrow. And here we are, because this, without a doubt, will be my favorite podcast, my proudest moment. Because, like I said, and I'll say it a million times, you are my favorite human being. You inspire me more than you know. I watch the things that you do. I try to compliment you as much as I can. I try to talk to you about what's going on in the world. But you know a lot, too, with the chaos of this house. There are a lot of times that I can't be there and I can't be involved. And the way that you handle things, too, again, is inspiring. And it like you were just talking about, that's a term that we use in this house. We go down into our holes. We all deal with depression. We all deal with ups and downs. We all deal with good days and bad days. And we all go into our holes. And I think that's something that it's unhealthy, of course, but it's healthy that we realize, and it's healthy that we keep an eye out for each other. And it's healthy that if we do go down into a hole, we ask. I mean, we have a thing, a lot of nights, we just spend a lot of nights together, watching TV together, playing stupid games together. What are some of the board games that we play that are just absolutely hilarious at night? I mean,
What are some of the recent ones?
oh my God. Oh, what's the narwhal? What's
Oh, taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza.
Taco cat goat cheese pizza. It's a simple stupid game, and I highly recommend getting it. It's but again, we do stuff like that. We entertain ourselves with just silliness. I think my wife and I have a phrase at night a lot of times, like, what do you want to watch? Stupid. And that's honestly what it is. We want to watch something that doesn't put anything in our head. We just want to find the stupidest possible thing we can possibly find on TV, and just forget about the day. And again, that's what she helps with so much, is just refocusing on laughing, refocusing on, okay, yes, it was a tough day, but now it's time to move forward and it's time to forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of, especially recently, I do a lot of, self-work. And recently what I've, kind of realized about dealing with stuff is that, of course, you're going to have times where you have to deal with your sadness and you have to recognize what's going on to fix the problem. You can't just be really sad and be like, no, I'm not going to deal with this because it's going to come up later on. So it's recognizing what's going on, but you don't always have to, I guess, dwell in that sadness. You are going to have to, but you don't always need to, and you always just kind of want to try and find the positive and try and start moving out of it, because it's just nice being happy. And again, it's not easy to do. It's not something that can just happen overnight, but it's something that you want to kind of work for. And that's, I'm always kind of working for being really happy, and I feel like that's just, it's awesome. It's just awesome, just really just trying to focus on the positive. And again, you're going to have those times, but it's just nice to try and just focus on the positive when you can.
You're a lot into it, and that's something, again, looking back on the older bearded babbles, I never understood energy of people, and I never understood how important energy was. And this one here is into her crystals and into her rocks and all that kind of stuff. And she's really helped me find how important it is to harness your energy, your good energy, to stay connected with people who share that energy. And I think that's something that we're grateful when we do find people that give us a good energy, and we can share that energy back. I mean, that's again, that's an important thing in this house, is keeping the energy up. And I think we all, again, try to pitch in when we can to keep the energy up, to keep it going, to keep it fun, to keep it positive. Like I said, it's a tough place. We would like to be out of this house. It's the house in itself is falling apart and a disaster, and there's ceilings ready to collapse. But what we've been doing, and especially most recently too, just not too long ago, if you came down to this basement, which is a pretty big basement, you would not be able to walk unless you were like this, because it was just filled to the capacity with just storage. And we decided, okay, let's get this going. Now we have a podcast area. We have an air hockey table. We have some video games. We have a studio basically set up. We have musical instruments. We have a drum set, guitars, bass, keyboard, karaoke. And we know that a lot of times we feel trapped in this house. So what we have to do is we have to create our own happiness. And it's not easy, but we all busted our butts, and we came down here and we cleared up and we got rid of a ton of stuff. And I love the fact that at night, you're a night owl like I used to be. I can no longer be a night owl, even though I suffer from insomnia. I probably could join you down here. But you come down here late at night and you just spend time down here just creating, playing video games, playing music, writing, whatever you're doing. And I love that this has become a hangout spot for you.
Yeah, I love the speakers that are all around the basement, so then you just connect to the Bluetooth and then you just hear the music everywhere, and it's so fun.
Again, music is a big part of all of our lives. Again, part of energy, part of healing, part of therapy. You can be having a horrible day, and you can throw some headphones, and this one's always got headphones on. I mean, you know, you can never, you can like go by her room and like yell at her and she won't hear you but music is so important too to us. And that's an important thing too, is how music, and we've bonded over music over the years too. I mean, my gosh, I took you to Yankee Stadium to see like Justin Timberlake when you were, I don't know how young you were, but that was like an insane one. And 21 Pilots, we've bonded over 21 Pilots because although it's her generation, I consider them amazing artists. I found them, I think, flipping through the channels one day, and I was like, who are these two kids? They're just playing this insane music. And then we've seen them a couple of times, and music is another thing that connects us and keeps us going.
And then, I mean, too, with, like, again, Red Hot Chili Peppers and then Foo Fighters, like, you know, you would always be playing it in the car when I was a kid, and I just grew to love both of those artists. So those are both some of my favorite artists, and I know those are some of your favorite artists, but it's just, you know.
And then your genre of music too, a lot of what you listen to has a lot of, there's a lot of times I'll hear like the 80s and 90s, you can almost hear like the metal, like a lot of it in there too. So it's interesting the way it all comes around. But again, I am so happy to be sitting here with you. It's really just an absolute honor to see who you are becoming, how you look at the world, without forcing any of our stuff on you. We were always like, hey, this is what's going on in the world. We were always open and honest with you. We always tried to let you know exactly the good, the bad, and the ugly. Always open and honest about that. And it's interesting to see with all the chaos and all the craziness and all the BS in this world, again, your attitude, your focus, your energy, your positivity is a huge part of how we get through every day. And I hope that you understand that. We have a lot of inside jokes here. You know, I definitely want to make you feel like useful. But again, I don't want to get too much into that. But it's you. You are the rock. It's like I said, that's my girl, that's her name, and I got it years ago, and I got it in stone because I knew that she was going to be the rock that really keeps everything together in this house. Again, I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more thankful that you're not an Andy. And listen, I'm going to open this up to, this doesn't just have to be a podcast interview. This can be, you can become a co-host. You can be on here every time I do this. You can come up with, she's got some great ideas for some great stuff for the show. So of course, everything that is going to be happening, she is the show. Okay. I just sit here and then just babble whatever comes out of this head of mine. So
and I do all the little computer techniques.
And she's coming up with some great ideas. She's coming up with some wonderful stuff for behind the scenes. What you talked about, possibly taking the camera over to the air hockey and doing like a quick question type thing while intensely playing air hockey or a video game or something
exactly.
like that.
You have to focus on the game while also trying to answer the questions.
And like I said, we have instrument down here, so one day the two of us just may sit down and jam. And again, that's hold on, I think I have a spam call. Hold on, I will delete the spam call. Sorry about that. But again, I'm just looking forward to just constantly creating, constantly being inspired, constantly seeing what you do. Again, I love to see and I know you came down here the other night and you recorded something. I know I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the best thing about this is I'm looking forward to seeing this. And it's, again, what else would you like to say?
There's a lot I could say.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of words in the vast dictionary. I mean, I don't know.
Any particular, so that's the thing too, like a lot of people do on podcasts, they pick out words. And I've dealt with people like on the Bearded Babbles. They'll choose a word and then you try to decipher the word or pick it out. What is one of your favorite words?
Well, the first one that came to mind was rotund.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what we were going for, like my favorite inspirational word or my favorite word that motivates me or I like to use.
Does rotund inspire and motivate you?
No,
Okay.
not at all. It's just kind of like rotund. Like I'll say rotund and then like I'll chuckle to myself because it's just like a funny word. It's just like rotund.
What exactly is rotund? I have an idea, but I think I'm wrong.
It's like round.
Is it a round space? I guess it's like an arena. Like if you were, I think I've heard of it like described as like I
It's
guess
an adjective, I guess.
like a rotund, like a studio. It's a rotund theater. It's in the round. I don't know. I'm not the bright
I
one
don't know.
here.
Maybe the microphone is like a little more rotund. It's not like a circle, but it's a bit more closer to a circle, but it's not a circle.
Rotund. Okay. Rotund. Well, that's another interesting direction that we're going. Is there anything else? Any other words or directions that you would like to take this? Because again, we just go with whatever goes here.
I'm gonna look around. I don't know. Do you have any questions for me?
Do I have any questions for you? What are you going to do next? What are we going to see next from Dakota Skye Singer?
Oh, okay. Well, I took a little break from music, not necessarily because I wanted to, it's just because I've been doing other stuff, but I want to get back into that. I've been taking music theory classes, so I want to finish those. I want to get into jazz music theory and understand like jazz because
I will join you on that.
Yeah, I love that genre and it's just really nice and calming and fun. So I would love to get into music. I'd love to start posting music, more instrumentals. And then I want to continue writing for my game. I want to, I'd love to start publishing stuff. I'm not sure how soon I can, but, that's kind of the goal is to start possibly building a following and, being able to post stuff and get people's feedback and just kind of all of that. Just continue moving on with the stuff I've started working on because I feel like this is all I wouldn't say very new. Music I've been making music almost all my life. I go back to when I was a kid and I find stuff that I used to write when I was little.
Great videos of you on the piano.
Yeah, and then the other recordings that I have of like really good music that I wrote when I was a kid that I'm like so surprised about that I had such a good grasp of music.
Sorry, another spam call. I'm sorry. Okay.
But everything is still kind of fairly new that I'm like really, really putting so much effort into it, where before it was just kind of just a hobby, and it's still a hobby, but now it's a passion. It's something that I really want to move forward with and just kind of do for fun. Now
you're basically learning all instruments. I mean, I guess I would say piano, keyboard is probably your most comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're learning guitar, you're learning drums. Have you picked up my bass?
I haven't picked up your bass yet. I've been mostly piano and then drums, but I want to get into guitar and bass a lot more. I still haven't played too much of the drums. I could play the first 30 seconds of The Pretender by Foo Fighters, so it's a start.
That is absolutely awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I'm gonna say no deadline, no time or anything like that. But I think over time, between the two of us, and my getting back into drums and getting back into my jazz bass again, and you with your keyboard and guitar, I think we're gonna have to create a song.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to have to, and eventually maybe someday we'll turn the camera that way, have it on the studio, and we'll...
Yeah, I'll play piano, and I'll play my slightly unsettling and calming piano, and you will play drums.
Okay.
And we will...
we will jam it out.
It'll be loud, it won't work, but we'll make it work.
Well, that's what we do. We make it work. I think that's an important thing. Every day we make it work.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to you for helping me make it work.
Thank you.
I'm grateful to you for helping me make this work and making this work and this work.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad it's all working.
Yay, working.
Yes, working.
Alrighty. Wow. Okay, we've got like a good half hour in here.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing. How would you like to wrap up this very first and my favorite actual interviewed podcast?
It better stay your favorite.
It always will be. Always.
I mean, I'm going to be listening to all your podcasts in the future, so if I hear, ooh, this has been my favorite podcast so far, you might not have a podcast being uploaded that night.
I will notice that your 3 YouTube accounts will unfollow. I'll be like, why am I dropping? I'll be like, she won't give me my SD cards comments back. I'll be like,
I'll take the SD cards. I'll be like, oh, where'd it go? I don't know. Where'd your favorite podcast go?
The sarcasm is extremely, and that's the thing that, like we had talked about before, that she's always had an unbelievable sarcasm and an unbelievable sense of humor. But the best thing about you is when you were extremely little and you would do something funny and we would laugh at you and you would become unbelievably angry. Stop laughing at me. Stop. We would have to tell people, like, when they came over, because you were in that silly young kid mode, like you were just learning your words and you were silly, and you would do silly stuff. And then we would literally have to tell people, stop laughing, don't laugh at her, don't look at her, don't smile, don't laugh. Because she would get mad. Thankfully, that didn't last too long, and then we have this awesome comedian sitting here, and that is one of my. There are days that I go deep into my hole, and I'm having an extremely rough day, and this one here will just come out with a one-liner. She'll just hit with a one-liner about something that's going on in the house, and that's it. It's over. I can just come right back out because, again, and I'm going to say this too. I know a lot of comedians. I know a lot of big comedians. You are without a doubt one of my favorite funny people, and you know that too because you can keep up with the best of them. You have it, and I get grateful for that. Yeah. Laughter is the best medicine.
I like people. I like making people laugh. I feel like that's always something that I've enjoyed being around people. There's just something I've always enjoyed about like being in a group of people, whether I'm super close to them or I don't really know them. If I like make a group laugh, I have like this like moment where I like go back internally and I'm like, wow, that was good. That was good.
Greatest feeling in the world.
And it is. It's awesome. It's like, it's rewarding just to see other people laughing, especially like when they like are like hysterically laughing at your joke. It's just like, that was good.
And that's what we're going to continue to do here. We're going to continue. We're going to talk about everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we are going to do our best part to keep the world laughing.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
That is true.
That is true. Dakota Skye Singer, again, my favorite human being, and this is my favorite podcast. And I will stick to that till the end of time.
I still don't know who you are. I'm glad that within this half hour, I'm glad that you've really come to know me and like me. I mean, I think I made a good first impression.
Tattoo of you on my arm.
It's kind of strange. I've been trying to stay calm at the fact that
That would be interesting if you went into, can you imagine that? If you went in to do like an interview with somebody and they're like, hey, I got a tattoo of you for the, like, what? Like, wait a second, slow down. I got a tattoo.
Let's go back a couple steps.
I got a tattoo of you for this interview. But that's what we do. It's all about, what is it? It's the peace.
It's the love.
And it's the laughter.
Wait, how did you do that?
Peace.
Well, I know peace, love, and then
it's laughter.
Laughter, okay.
Laughter. You gotta
I was trying to go like this.
Yeah,
and
it's like an L, but you kind of like bring it up.
Yeah, I was like doing opposite. I was like.
Listen, in this house, our sign language isn't anywhere near what it's supposed to be. It's kind of a hybrid sign language, and it works in this house.
Well, it's my favorite thing with when SpongeBob. We used to sign this for SpongeBob, and then. Yes, I was picking up my
son used to go to an all-deaf school, and I was picking him up one day at this all-deaf school, and everybody was getting out of school, and of course you have teachers and students and parents, and everybody speaks sign language there. And at the time, it was a long drive home. I used to put a SpongeBob DVD in so Jaden could watch it on the way home. So I was just say to him, I'd be like, okay, we're going to sit in the car, we're going to drive home, and we're going to watch SpongeBob. And I do that one day in front of the stairs with everybody standing there who understands sign language. And I says, we're going to watch SpongeBob. And Jaden's aide grabs me and literally throws my hands down. And he goes, what the hell did you just sign? And I was like, we're going to watch SpongeBob. He goes, you just signed, we're going to watch Horny. Okay, so.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I thought it was warning.
No, warning.
Warning.
Horny.
Oh.
See? That was warning.
Yeah, the story was warning.
No, maybe we told you that because
Yeah.
or maybe you heard horny
No,
warning.
it was warning. I know it was warning.
No, it was, yeah. I wish it was that. I wish I would have signed we're going to watch Warning in front of a bunch of people who understand sign language, but instead I signed to my son, we're going to watch Horny.
I always knew it was warning. See, I learned something new
See,
today.
there we go. This is another... Yes, we have a lot of great stories, and we're going to have to get to them and make sure that you understand them all correctly.
Guess so.
Okay, that's what I think. I think that's what
I
we're...
guess I've been lied to.
Yes, you. Well, we probably told you that was a long time ago with Jaden. So, yeah, you may have heard that a long time ago, and we probably didn't want to have to explain how what horny was. Uncomfortable, but again, it's.
You have a kid on the show? Easy now?
Dude, it's dudette. It's like I said, we talk about everything. It's an open house. It's life, and that's what you got to do. You got to talk about everything in life, and then you have to laugh about everything in life.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So word of the day is rotund.
Rotund. Okay, let me see if I remember. Is this applause?
That one is crickets. That's all I remember.
Okay, I don't want to do crickets. I think there's like applause and
That's
laughter. We didn't use that at all, but I think we'll go with some. All right. I think we need to. I didn't mean to do that again. All right. I think we need to do one more final piece, love and laughter, and then we'll call this an episode. And like I said, chair is available if you'd like to be there for the next one.
All
totally
right.
up to you. No pressure. But this, without a doubt, it'd be an honor. So
right.
I'll just leave it at that. Peace.
Oh, peace. Sorry. Love.
Love.
Laughter.
Laughter.